What's good, y'all? Welcome back to my chill stream. So we're gonna be checking out my boy Justin Wong, aka the GOAT of fighting games. So for those of you who don't know about Justin Wong, or why am I even? I knew I started this video awkward. I forgot I got this plugged in. For those of you who don't know about the what Evil is basically like the Super Bowl or the WrestleMania of the fighting game community. It's basically like they're just throwing this big fighting game tournament every year. Those who are skilled enough to compete to win like money or the new arcade stick or the trophy for that matter. I remember back in the day when they used to win like thousands of dollars, but if you get like second place or third place, they'll give you like a golden arcade stick. Um, Nowadays they just give you like trophies. Like if you become the number one fighting game player of all time, whether it's from Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, Tekken, King of Fighters, or Super Smash Bros. Like you name it. And I don't think a lot of people are talking about Super Smash Bros. Nowadays because it is like an epic fighting game where you could just play against people online with your favorite Nintendo characters. But yeah, we're basically just talking my boy Justin Wong because he is the GOAT in terms of fighting game wise, because he is basically one of the main reasons why people love Street Fighter and Marvel vs. Capcom. And I think last year I did a video on him, and one of his legendary moments is when he was playing against somebody in Street Fighter 3 Third Strike. And he did this move with Kent when Chun Li was about to do her super move, and he immediately blocked it by repeatedly blocked it multiple times to the point where he finished off with some kicks, and then he did his super move on him to end the battle. So that right there was like it was like one of the legendary moments in fighting game history. Like you cannot compete with that. You cannot tell me that that is not a legendary moment in history. And you know what? Is one of the most legendary moments in fighting game history that you can never top that. So we're gonna go ahead and react to the history of my boy Justin Wong because I believe a lot of us need to sit back, relax, and enjoy the history of the fighting games, for that matter. I don't know what happened. The screen just went slow all or something. Come on now, play already. Oh, I thought I clicked. I'm like, what? Why is this doing that?
I have a challenge for all of you. Go to every computer in your house, your mom's, your dad's, your sister, your brother's computer, and in
America reveres Justin as the greatest of all time.
He already is.
Justin had this uncanny ability to play any game and win every game.
Everybody was trying to beat him.
completely dominant.
Let me know if y'all can hear.
Justin Wong! Oh my God!
I guess I can turn it up so y'all can hear me. Yeah, it's already loud enough. So
Justin Wong was born on November 15th, 1985, in New York City, to an immigrant family. He never knew his mother, and his father was always working, leaving his grandmother to raise him. From a young age, Justin was instilled with a strong work ethic. His grandmother always told him to get a good job so he could take care of himself in the future. So he did. He went to school and eventually started working part-time. always trying to stay independent and self-sufficient. And when he wasn't working, most of his free time was spent at the Chinatown Fair arcade.
Oh, I remember
that.
Take
me to the local arcade called Chinatown Fair, and she took me there, gave me $2 to play Street Fighter until I lose.
It's so funny because I remember watching the documentary years ago on YouTube, and what's everyone's thoughts on Chinatown arcade, and you can tell that place was a lot of fun back in the day, in the 90s and into the 2000s. And I heard that they don't even have that anymore, and it was turned to something else. And basically, Chinatown, New York City is reminded of Japan, basically.
Chinatown Fair would eventually become known as the Mecca of the East Coast fighting game scene. But back then, it was just a place where the strongest players in New York hung out. And Justin saw the arcade as a chance to make friends. So he started grinding fighting games to earn the respect of his peers.
When you're in school, you want to be like the cool kid, or or they say like the alpha. So I wanted to like just be good with them, because then they'll spend more time with me, because I was like very lonely when I was a kid. So I was like, damn, this is like my way to break through and make friends.
In no time,
that's tight, though.
Justin had earned a reputation among the arcade's best players.
I actually made friends at the Chinatown Fair with like all the players that went to tournaments before I even knew what tournaments were. Like Arturo Sanchez, Eddie Lee, Josh Wickfall, like all those guys were playing like Mario's Capcom like competitively.
Justin lost almost every game he played against the pros, but they wanted to help him out. He was young, not even 15 at the time, and Justin always strived to be the best. His first shot at glory came when Marvel vs. Capcom 2 came out in 2000. With everyone still learning the ins and outs of the game, Justin was determined to become the best MVC2 player in New York.
I actually said once Marvel vs. Capcom 2 came out, like if Marvel vs. Capcom 2...
Oh yeah, M vs. K2 is one of my absolute favorite games of all time. I remember, okay, here's the funny story, right? I originally wanted the Marvel superheroes on the PS1 fighting game, because I heard that in the PS2 you could play PS1 games on the PS2, which was backwards compatible. So I wanted to play the Marvel superheroes game, but they didn't have that in GameStop. So I got M vs. K2, and it definitely changed my life, and it made me love fighting games because of it. And that game alone was the pioneer of how to make a good versus fighting game for the tournament. It was basically perfect for that.
Ever came out, I would be the best in this game.
Justin dominated Chinatown Fair, and between 2001 and 2003, he won every single MVC tournament he entered. He also won MVC2 at B5 in 2001.
Oh, wow.
The tournament that would become EVO. And went on to win MVC2 at every EVO until 2005.
As a kid, it never really came to my mind that I was unstoppable. My whole goal was just like to always play and just like beat down my friends.
Early on, the East Coast fighting game community had rallied behind Justin as their first champion since fighting game legend Eddie Lee. Justin bodied the West Coast Marvel scene and ushered in a new era of East Coast dominance.
He was always just completely dominant at that game. And he did it by picking really strong characters. And he did the same thing in other games. Third Strike, CBS2, whatever he played the really strong characters. And he just had good enough fundamentals. His tech was never really good. He just had really great strategy and reactions and all the things that you need other than the exploitations of the game engine.
Justin played a slow-paced defensive style that was seen as boring. Not only that, he had this miraculous ability to turn around the most dire matches and come out with a win.
Oh, that's where his skills began.
We just got a real match. We just got a real match. Let's go. Let's go. Look at Timo right now. 1-on-1. Behind you.
Uh-oh, that combat right there. That's all you need.
Oh my God!
People started calling that comeback potential the Wong factor.
It's like a
Wong
switch.
factor, okay.
It's like a switch for the stick at the bottom or something. Like I didn't even be like the Wong factor. It's like right at the bottom of the fucking stick, or the Wong factor right here, bro.
But as effective as Justin's turtle style of play was, it drew the ire of the community, including his fellow East Coasters.
He was the enemy. He was the bad guy, right? He was the guy that you wanted to see lose at MVC2 because he kept winning.
Justin kept playing Marvel 2, but he began playing other games and tournaments as well.
Yeah, Street Fighter 3 Third
In EVO 2004's Street Fighter 3 Third Strike event, he was on the losing end of the now iconic Daigo pairing. And though he placed third, that moment made him even more famous.
That was definitely my greatest loss because I was like, wow, I can't believe Daigo parried it. But it also was my greatest loss just because it revolutionized fighting games in general. Because when that happened, everyone started playing fighting games more seriously again.
Justin placed second in 3S at EVO 2000.
By the way, Street Fighter 6 is going to be coming out this year. So if I were you, I would probably get ready to get that game right now. Start practicing. If you want to win $1 million, $2 million, if you have that type of skill to even compete for that money, do so. But for me, I'm not doing it. I would rather just play for fun because I love Street Fighter. So yeah, I'm definitely excited. I'm definitely excited for that moment. My Lord, I'm stuttering all over the place.
2005 and 2008, all placing top 8 in both Marvel 2 and Capcom vs. SNK 2. In 2009, though, the FGC changed forever.
Oh yeah, Street Fighter 4. I remember one day when I believe we took my mom somewhere, and I remember hearing my dad telling me the new Street Fighter game, and I look on the window at the GameStop, and it says Street Fighter 4. I didn't know what was going on with the Capcom at the time, but once I picked up the game and me and my friends played it for the first time, dude, it felt like I was at an arcade at David Buster's playing Street Fighter. This game reminds me so much of Street Fighter 2 because of the voice actors, the visuals, and the character designs and the graphics itself. The music it brings back so many memories. I remember being 18 at the time when it came out. Like, I was literally happy when I first got it. Like, it definitely changed my life.
The worldwide release of Street Fighter 4 breathed new life into the scene and gave Justin Wong yet another chance to dominate. When he first found out about GameStop's National Street Fighter 4 Championship, Justin was working a dead-end job at Dave & Buster's in early 2009.
Dang!
Justin went on to win the US Championship, then beat Japan and Korea's champions before facing off against Daigo Umehara.
Oh yeah, Daigo.
He may have lost, but this time, the crowd was on his side. In Marvel, Justin was the villain, the defensive, boring player that everyone wanted to see go down. But in Street Fighter, he was America's champion, facing off against
he became
Japan's
the baby face. Here's the thing though, in M versus K2, he was like the heel in the fighting game community. But when Street Fighter 4 came out, he became a baby face. Just saying.
The biggest moment for Justin was 2009 Grand Finals Evolution when he went up against Daigo. Because one, they were the two guys from the infamous Daigo parry video. And so now all of a sudden they're rematched at Grand Finals for the first year of Street Fighter 4. Are you kidding? Right? Like, it's like amazing. And then he kind of became the hero in a way because people wanted the U.S. to win.
The crowd is chanting. They want to see Justin do some damage. Daigo's here to play. Oh no! He's angry. Daigo's all over him. Overhead. Oh, Justin's now hungry. Daigo's
use those 4 meters. Maybe it's not for him to use some of those EX to go through those fireballs. I don't know.
There's the throw. It's going to come right down. Is he going to go for ultra? Oh, my God.
That's that combat right there. Man, I messed up like this back then.
After winning the U.S. National Championship, Justin moved down to California. During the week, Justin worked at the now famous Family Fun Center arcade and used the money he earned to go to tournaments on the weekend.
Oh, that's cool.
But playing in California put him in front of the burgeoning esports scene. Within a year of moving out west, Justin was signed by Evil Geniuses, which let him travel to even more tournaments.
You know, he was one of the first American fighting game players to be sponsored by like a really legit major esports team. He's a great ambassador too, just a really nice guy. And so whenever he has a chance to meet people from different scenes, I think he does a really good job at representing us.
He placed first at World Cyber Games, 4th at SoCal Regionals, 9th at EVO 2010, and 7th at Canada Cup 2010. Eventually, Justin got an office job at Nexon, then Snail Games, and later NVIDIA. But all the while, he was still competing, still traveling, and entering tournaments every weekend.
Literally Friday night, leave Friday night, get there Saturday morning, play Saturday morning, leave Monday morning, and go back to work.
Justin Wong didn't take vacations. He went to tournaments. But in 2011, a game came out that completely changed the course of his career.
This game was definitely the pioneer of what's to come years later. I remember my first time playing this game. I loved it so much. I love this game so much. The music, the graphics, it had this comic book feel, and the artwork is so. I miss when fighting games used to be so much fun back in the day. Nowadays, they just add so much, a little bit too much, you know what I'm saying? Nowadays, you just have to play online, and you have to get a PS4 or PS5 to hook up the internet connection just to play the story mode. I don't like that. Games like this, when you didn't have to play online in order to play the story mode, dude, 2011 was such a great year for MK9 and this game as well. This game was definitely the one that made Justin Wong big in the first place. I'm just saying.
Justin was good at Street Fighter, but he was a Marvel legend. And
bet.
Marvel vs. Capcom 3 gave him a shot at redemption.
That was ridiculous. Oh man, Justin Wong.
He immediately went for an in-your-face, aggressive team to distance himself from the team that made him a villain in MVC2.
The first Wednesday night fights, like the Tuesday game comes out, Wednesday night fights, I pick Wolverine Storm Akuma.
You know, a lot of people told him to move away from Wolverine Storm Akuma, but he didn't want to. He wanted to win his way. And he's a good enough player that he did that.
Yeah.
In 2011, Justin's Street Fighter 4 results slipped.
He got it. Let's keep over Justin Wong, and he puts.
But his Marvel results were incredible.
That's the pressure that you feel when you fight Justin Wong. I don't feel like what you're doing is not enough. You have to do something crazy.
He didn't place below top 8 in any MVC3 tournament that he entered between the game's launch and March 2014. In that time, though, Justin developed something of an EVO curse. He was always one of the best players in Marvel going into EVO, but he could never take home gold.
Any combo will do right here. Oh! Oh, but he got it anyways. Blocker, is he gonna run with it?
And there it is! Blocker, your new Evolution 2013 champion.
It was at EVO 2014 that Justin finally exercised that demon. In the winners finals, Justin made an unbelievable comeback against Filipino champ to secure a spot in the grand finals.
He didn't want to do that. This could be it. No, he got it! Both of them! X Factor!
Oh my God, look at this. Damn it.
Wow! He caught it again! He caught a mess! He did it again!
There, he faced Chris G, the heir to his old, unpopular defensive style. This time, Chris was the heel, as everyone wanted to see him and his lame playstyle go down.
He went for the legs again!
X Factor!
Oh my God, are we crowning a new champion here?
I think this might be it, guys.
As the king returns, as the Marvel God has returned to his throne.
Justin is definitely the GOAT. Like, no cap.
I'm not even gonna, oh my God! Justin takes it! He takes it!
He's done it! Unbelievable!
He's back! He's back!
Winner's bracket!
The
whole
champion!
time!
The best! He is the best!
That was the sickest thing I've ever seen. I think if anybody's going to remember something, it's a lot of moments that you're going to remember of Justin, but that's going to be my number one.
By taking out Chris G, Justin had redeemed himself as the hero, re-cementing his legacy as one of North America's greatest fighting game players. But being the king of MVC again was still not enough. While he was playing Street Fighter and Marvel, Justin was placing in major top 8s in Dead or Alive, Guilty Gear, Killer Instinct, Mortal Kombat, Tekken, King of Fighters, Tatsunoko vs. Capcom, Soul Calibur, Pokken, Skullgirls, and even
Good grief, so many fighting games that you have to put in your skill. This is why I've always said, if you're good at, like, if you're really good at fighting games, you have to put in your time and effort and skill and hours to get better with every character. That takes a lot. That takes a lot of guts to even get done, especially if you're just a one. I could never be that guy, but if I would, I can try. But Justin is that original OG that would not sit down and slow down. Whenever it's time to win, it's his time to win.
dive kick. Eventually, though, the life of working full-time and competing in tournaments wore him down. After signing with Echo Fox in 2017, Justin left his job at NVIDIA to finally go into esports full-time.
That's good.
He moved to Las Vegas, set up a gaming house, and even began using his money to start sponsoring players.
It's been pretty fun. I would say I've been more like just out of it in terms of like I don't have to think as much. Like I put my years in, and I want to focus on this full time because how amazing FGC is growing and like how so many people are just interested in it.
Justin hasn't stopped, but he has slowed down. He finally broke his Street Fighter Capcom Cup curse in 2017 and didn't go 0-2, but he still only placed 17th.
Justin! Wake up, buttons! Justin Wong with all the right reads on Wake Up. Hi Tiny was scared of the DP that he got hit with so many times. What a result for Justin Wong.
He's expressed interest in playing every fighting game that comes out, though, from Super Smash Bros. To Dragon Ball FighterZ.
A lot of the games out there, their scenes, like if Justin doesn't play it, like people don't think it's like, you know, important.
Justin Wong is living the esports version of the American dream. He started from nothing and worked day in and day out to eke out a living. Dominating the FGC was what he did in his spare time. He's the most decorated player in EVO history, with 24 EVO top 8 medals across 10 different games, including 9 first-place trophies. Justin Wong isn't just dominant at Marvel or good at Capcom fighters, he's fluent in fighting games.
Justin Wong is perhaps, and may go down just as the greatest fighting game player from the US, like ever.
He could retire today, and he doesn't have to do anything for the rest of his life. That says a lot about the guy.
Well, definitely.
He takes it!
He's done it! Unbelievable! Justin Wong once again at the top of the mountain.
Thanks. If you want more great cuts just like this, be sure to hit the subscribe button.
I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing this for a minute. Let's be honest here. if I was ever that good at fighting games, I would immediately put in so much time and effort into one game until I get better at my skill. And before you know it, I'll probably get better like around 2050. I'll be dead by then, though, but I don't know, man. But I don't want to sound stupid what I said, though, but still. See, we got some people in here. Daigo party. Very funny. So, Brandon, what's good, VGL? Loyalty to your God, the GOAT fat. No, he ain't. Loyalty to your God's a joke. That's why he got banned on YouTube. The boy Nexus, what's up, man? All right, y'all. I'm going to end the stream. I got somewhere to be at tomorrow, but I thank y'all for coming out and hanging out with me as always. And love y'all. Take care of yourself.